Okay, Jessica, thank you very much for joining us today. I wonder if you could start, if you could just want to introduce yourself briefly. Just tell us your name and who you are.
My name is Jessica Yang, and I come from China originally, Beijing. Yeah.
Okay, great. Could you tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, about your childhood?
I grew up from southwest of China, a city, and my childhood and I think pretty good. And I spent my primary school and the middle school in that city afterwards, and moved to Beijing, and yeah.
Okay. And you enjoyed your childhood?
Yeah, very much. Yes.
Yeah? Okay. And when did you decide to come to Scotland?
After graduate from university, and I was working in a company very short period, like a few months. Then decided I should do something more, and so to go to another country to have a look and have some different experience. So that's why I choose come to the UK to study first. Yeah.
And what were you studying?
Tourism management.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that in Edinburgh that you studied?
Yeah, in Edinburgh and in Napier University. Yeah, I did a master degree. Yes.
And when was that? What year?
Oh, it's a long time ago. It's like the history, and it's 2000. Yeah, 2000. Yes. Yeah, I came to Scotland, Edinburgh, in 2000, and initially did some language course, probably 6 months. Then afterwards, and then I get into university.
Yeah, great. And did you always plan to stay after university, or were you planning to go back to China, or?
No, and initially when I came here, and first 3 months probably not that enjoyable because homesick and language barrier and all these things, and was planned to go back to China after the finish the course, but gradually start to like this city or this country. Then situation changed afterwards and after study, so I just follow the flow. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And you said the first few months was a bit difficult. Did things become easier as you went along, or so after the first few months did it become easier?
Yeah, and after 3 months, probably the first 3 months, because the language is a main problem, and don't have many friends, and culture different, and so language is a problem. You don't have you don't know what life will be going on, so this is a bigger problem.
And once you finished your degree, what did you go into after that? What did you start doing?
Try to find a job, but at that time it was not that easy, and probably it was 17 years ago. It was a long time ago. Yeah, 17 years ago, and for us to find a job in that area, that field, you need a second European language, and obviously I only can speak Mandarin and English, so it's not enough. So it's not easy at the beginning. You send a lot of CVs, and you're lucky if you get an interview, same as nowadays. But things changed, getting better. Yeah.
Great. And what job did you eventually manage to get? Was it starting this company, or?
Well, I was working in a company in London for a few months, and like events and the tourism company, and they do this kind of business. And then I thought, well, this is what I study, and something that it encouraged me to my own business, to start on my own business. Yeah.
Okay. And what were your thoughts when you first arrived in Scotland about the culture and the people here? Did you find it quite easy to interact with people, or was it quite difficult?
Yeah, in here the people are very friendly, Scottish people have this kind of reputation, is that very friendly and kind, and even the language is a problem and a language barrier, but you can always get help from local people, even on the street. And there's obviously, if you get lost or have some questions and need help, there are always people there and they can help you.
Sure. And was there anything that surprised you about the culture of Scotland?
Not really, not really. But the first impression is very quiet when I arrive here. It's very quiet and the people are very soft and gentle. Yes, for first impression, yeah.
Was it quite different to China, the culture and the people? Did you find it quite different?
At that time, yeah, and the people's reaction and very different with the people in China. At that time, people are so kind and so friendly at the beginning. But at that time, 17 years ago, people in China and so busy. People are busy, just pay attention for their own things. But in here, people are more gentle. Yeah. What I can say is like this. Yeah.
Okay. And did you feel quite welcome?
Yes. Yes.
So what can you tell me a little bit about your family life? Do you see your family from China a lot? Do you have a family here?
Well, I have family in China, and my parents and my brother and sisters. I go back to China, I think, at least twice a year for business and for visit family.
Okay. And have your family ever come to Scotland to visit?
No, they always planning, but it never happened. And my parents was planning come to here after my graduation, after start my business, and when I settled down. And but my father was not well, so they cancelled. The doctor was not pleased if he took the flight too long. And so they cancelled the trip. Right. But the only thing I can do is I just go back to China more rather than they come over. Right. Yeah.
So moving on a little bit to sort of life now and how things have changed a bit. If they have you felt, has your views about Scotland changed at all over the years? Do you feel a little bit more settled in Scotland?
Yeah, and I think from my view about personal side, I think more or less like I'm really settled in here, and it's like a Scotland or Edinburgh seems like my home now, rather than in Beijing or in China, because when I go back to Beijing, and I have that kind of feeling. It's like I just feel like a stranger, and lots of things changed. China and Beijing has changed too much than us or me thought, and but every time when I come back to Scotland or Edinburgh, even when I change the flight and when in the airport, in the waiting area, and just feel more relaxed, better relaxed. And once arriving airport, get off the airplane and arriving airport, I feel like more relaxed, home now. So I think it's a bit strange. And the first time when I had this kind of feeling, I feel a bit strange when I go back to China, Beijing, and I just feel like a stranger, and all things change too much, and a lot of things I used to familiar with become more strange, and so it's better said from I don't know and how other people can understand, and but it's better a little bit sad. They used to be my home, but I feel very strange and not familiar with. Yeah.
And you mentioned that you started your own business. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the business started the business and is like I've been encouraged when I work in London, and even when I was a student, and for what I study, I think the the research new, and China, the tourism business or China, the economy will be bombed until 2010, and so for all the reasons, and also I think I should, at that time I thought, oh, I'm still young, and I should try and see what's going on, and try see if what I can do the best for myself. So, of course, and if I stay in London, I just working for that company, and I think I probably try more to see what I can do for myself, and what's the best, and the limit I can do. So that's the reason I come back to Edinburgh and to start my own business. And it's not easy on the way and go through, but first 2 years it was very difficult. All these problems, and I remember it was that year was some economic crash or something. Yeah, that's the first year, and that afterwards is SARS, that kind of disease. That in fact the business as well. So after 2 or 3 years, and so everything's established. So it's getting steady. Business is getting steady. Was getting better. Yeah.
And what is it that your company does?
Tourism and service, and events, and the events for late year. I started to do the events and like performance, cultural exchange, this kind of thing. Yeah.
So, am I right in thinking that you bring some performers from China to come and perform at the Edinburgh Festival and things like that?
Yeah, and some of the group, Chinese group, and like a culture and the performance group came over for a festival, and so we start to working with them, and especially schools, universities, and the professional groups came over to festival initially, and just so glad they're so welcomed in here. So, and all the performance was very successful.
So you bring some Chinese acts to performers to Scotland. Have you ever taken Scottish performers to China?
I wanted to, and this is next plan, and I'm looking now, and because Scotland have a lot of rich culture and a lot of good performance, and so I was looking now and see which one and I can bring, and I think some of the Scottish performers have been to China now, and but I hope I can bring one to go to China to promote the Chinese Scottish culture.
What can you tell me of what you're most proud of?
I would say most of I'm proud of is as a people from China, as a foreigner in Scotland, I successfully and achieved my study and my degree, got my degree. And another thing that I'm proud is I promote Chinese culture in Scotland, and let the Scottish people know Chinese culture and understand more about Chinese and the Chinese culture and the Chinese people.
And is that something that you think your own heritage, your own culture kind of led you to that kind of work? So your own Chinese background, do you think that influenced you in working to promote Chinese culture here when you came here?
Yeah, I think so, and I think naturally, I think lots of people in Chinese community they do the things similar as I do, promote Chinese culture and present Chinese people's nature to Scottish and this country. But I'm just one of the example, I think, and especially I think maybe this is not linked with this question, but I want to mention was last year, November, I have organized like a charity events. raise fund for Scotland and China. So Breast Cancer Care Scotland, and because apart from my business, we have I'm the chairperson for Edinburgh Chinese Arts Association. Yeah, this Edinburgh Chinese Arts Association is local. Is a non-profitable, is a charity also, as a non-profitable organization. It's like a club, like a Chinese local Chinese people. We organize together, we practice, and for the people they love Chinese culture, like Chinese music, dance, and etc. We have people both professional and amateur people. We practice, I organize and practice every Saturday afternoon. So we normally organize, go out to performs for some kind of events to present Chinese culture, Chinese arts, and on last November, I organized this kind of events, like charity events to raise funding for Breast Cancer Care Scotland, and was very successful. I was very attached, and because supported by a lot of people, lots of Chinese, local Chinese business, and so we raised about 2,580 or something pounds. Yeah, it was a very successful event, and the event was in Central Hall in Edinburgh. I was very glad and proud about this event, because that event not only present our Chinese culture, Chinese arts, also we use our hobby, we use our culture and arts to help the local charity to do some contribution to local,
Right.
and especially the charity organizations. And also on the other hand, and we organize, this club just people, organize it, practice there just for hobby, but we just use our hobby to bring our hobby to next level, to contribute to this society. That's what we so proud of.
And in your social life, do you engage with people from both the Chinese and Scottish backgrounds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have friends from both?
Yes, both sides. Yeah,
Both sides.
Chinese and Scottish people. Yeah.
Right. Can you tell me what aspects of Scotland are most important to you? What keeps you in Scotland?
Oh, yeah. The weather. No, I'm joking. Apart from the weather, it's too cold.
Yeah.
Everything, and people, and the nature, and the green, and yeah. I think that, yeah, culture as well.
And obviously you do a lot of work in both your social life and in your job to promote Chinese culture. But is there anything that you particularly want to hold on to about Chinese heritage, about your own culture, that you don't want to lose while you're here?
Yeah, and I think language and Chinese arts, dance, music. That's why we want to hold our culture and our heritage. That's why we set up the club, like our Chinese Arts Association. People, we practice every Saturday afternoon for Chinese traditional dance, and we have an adults group and a kids group. And our second generation practice Chinese dance and Chinese culture and Chinese music, and we also present to the local events. So I think this is a thing we can do at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you personally, do you feel Scottish, or do you feel part of Scottish society?
I think I'm Chinese still, and yeah, I'm part of Scottish society. Yeah.
And is that something? Did that feeling come sort of gradually over the time, or has that been, from straight away? Did you feel part of Scottish society?
It's come gradually, yeah. And after you understand the culture more, and involve with local people more and events more, then you think you be involved. So you engaged with the culture in Scotland. Yes.
This is quite a big question, but how do you think moving to Scotland has affected your life?
It's a big challenge, and but at the beginning I didn't realize it, and but when my local people, my local friends always think, we think you're so brave. You moved to Scotland and to another country to study and set up a business, and you are successful. I thought, I'm successful. I don't think I wouldn't say I'm successful, and but look back and I think, look at the young people, and they came over to study and did the same thing as I did before, and so was better, brave. But 10 years ago, 17 years ago, not a lot of people came over to study, and afterwards did what we did.
What are your feelings in general about immigration in Scotland and the UK? Do you think it's a positive thing? Or?
I think it's a positive thing, yeah, because the immigration has a stimulated, I don't know what, impact the culture and the economy, and to help the culture and mix the culture, and to improve the economy, and to many aspects, and that's positive, and of course there's some negative side, but I think compared with both sides, the immigration is positive. I think it's good. The Scottish development, yes.
Have your opinions changed at all over the last few years with the EU referendum, the Scottish referendum, for example? Has that changed your opinion about living in Scotland at all?
No. No, I don't think it's a big change for me or for my business at the moment, yes.
Okay. Okay, well that's all the questions that I have.
Okay.
So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for coming over.